Going on, Nitro Gang? I just got home. Very first ever Nitro road trip. I had to go pick up some vintage Nitros. These motherfuckers are so badass, guys. Wait till you see what the fuck I just got. I am freaking stoked. And as soon as I got home, I look on TV, and who's their hybrid, of course. And, that's my boy. Or, I shouldn't say that, but I want to say I really love that dude. He's fucking cool as shit. And so anyway, because of him, I decided to go and get me a couple nitros. And so in the beginning of this video, well, after this, I'm going to show you my road trip to go get the little fuckers. Well, my girlfriend, she said when I got home, she's like, those aren't little. Well, she only saw the one. She only saw one little car. I got two of them. Don't say nothing. Okay. So, because this is like my very first Nitro Gang road trip, vintage RC road trip, I had to wear my Royal t-shirt. Ta-da! Two-speed baby. You see what it says right there, boy. I tell you what, that two-speed baby. That's right. Right there. Two-speed baby. That's right, guys. I got the two-speed baby shirt on. You know what that means, right? Right? You know what that means? Well, let me introduce you to two new members of the Nitro Gang. Okay, hold on. I gotta go underneath the bed. I'm gonna put it right here so you can see. You see the bed. Move my hatch. Okay, hold on. Let me go get them. They're hiding underneath the bed, guys. Shh. Do you see it? Oh shit! It's red. You can see red so far. These motherfuckers are brand new. Shit, look at that, dude. Oh my god. Guys, can you smell what the Nitro Gang is cooking right there? Look at that. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god, that looks so good. It's like, seriously? It's like, that thing looks like a freaking shark. Look at this side. My girlfriend, she says, that car's not little. I showed her. And I told her I was going to go buy a little RC car. And she's like, that thing's not little. Oh, God. Look how beautiful that thing is, dude. Oh, my God. Look at the bottom of the chassis, too. Freaking brand new, dude. The guy never ran it. Everything's all brand new. Never run. Never had a drop of fuel in the tank or anything. Look at that shit. Well, with a body like that, I can't say that I blame him. Look at that shit. Look at the back. Man, that little car looks good. I think it's little. I mean, my girlfriend, she says it's big. Okay, maybe it's kind of big. So what? It's just a little RC car to me, boy, I tell you what. This son of a bitch is badass. The guy asked me too, he's like, are you gonna run it? I was like, oh fuck no, dude, I'm not gonna run that thing, are you crazy? Holy shit. You kidding me, man? Dude, hold on, let me take off, hold on. Let me take off the body and let's look underneath. Hold on, come on. Let me move the camera a little closer. Come on, check this out. Check this out. Move it closer. Let's check this shit out. Here we go. Oh no. Alright guys, here we go. Look, pull out the body clips. Let's just see what's hiding inside. Now, mind you, all this shit is brand new. Nothing's been wrong. tires look pretty cool. This engine's got a big old blue cooling head. I wonder what the hell that is. What does that say? Oh, I gotta get my glasses. I can't read that shit. Hold on. Let's see what. Here we go. Set this thing on my lap. It says LRP ZR.32 Spec 4. So that's a brand new engine. Never run. It's got a hyper pipe on there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And this header collector thing with jigger thing that they got going on, I've never seen anything like that before either, but it's missing the springs, so I'm gonna have to put the springs on there. This is the new and updated transmission. Where is it? Right here. Can't see in there, it's so dark. Wish I could turn the light on. Turn the light on. Right here. No, that's not it. Right here. Okay. Yeah, I got the light on. Look at that. Look. Okay, so this is the new transmission. And the way I can tell is by how far apart the gears are spaced. See here on the spur gears? See, those are spaced farther apart than the old ones. And I'm used to seeing the old ones, so I can tell right away. Like this is a new version of that 2-speed with the shoe type transmission that doesn't like strip and give out. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy about that. And then it's got some kind of Kyosho Perfects servos in there. Fucking glare. Anyway, I'll try and read what it fucking says. You can't see shit. It says KS5031-09MW. So I still gotta look up what that means. But anyway, I'm thinking that's pretty cool. I mean, those look like the upgraded version of the normal like Kyosho servos. I mean, the normal Kyosho servos are okay, but I think the upgraded ones are much better. But anyway, this engine is brand new, never been run, and I guess I'm gonna have to take it out of this platform and put it in another one. Maybe I'll have one GT2 that actually runs, but I won't actually run the body. But we got some badass fucking tires on here too, man. Look at the tread on this thing. I don't know what kind of tires these are. I've never seen them before. But they feel like, oh shit. They're freaking solid, man. There's no foam in there at all. It's just like solid rubber. They're hard as shit. These are like, you know, those tires they used to go 100 miles an hour or something. And then the little radio tray is a little different than the GT1. So it's got the battery compartment over here, and then it's got the receiver compartment over here. And it's already got a little fly sky receiver in there. I just gotta bind my radio to it. This thing will be ready to go. But the gear mesh is real tight. I'm gonna have to adjust that. It's like way too tight. And there's a spot like right here. Let me show you with my pinky finger. Can't see, it's so difficult. But so essentially what's happening is like this radio tray right here, it's got a little notch out of it for the gears, and there's probably like 1 millimeter of clearance or less. So, you know, I'm not very comfortable running it like that. I would have to, I mean, before I would run it, I would definitely clearance that out. And, you know, take this little radio tray out of there and put, well, I just file it down a little bit to give me some more clearance in there, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this, you know, fuel canister tank is like a 125 or a 150, but it's definitely a lot more clear than the previous ones. And it's got these little, like, you can see right here, it's like a little crosshatch thing where it's like reinforced. It's got gears, brakes in the front and the back. It's missing the little collars and the little fuel tubing and stuff, so I'll have to replace that. And it's going to need a little battery in here, but that's easy enough. I don't know that a hump pack will actually fit in there. It looks really small. They should have made that a lot bigger, fit a hump pack. I don't know that a hump pack will fit in here. It's got a genuine Kyosho filter on there, the air filter. And this freaking .32 LRP, it's got a nice big like cylinder head, man. Like, I can wrap my hand all the way around it. It feels good. Like, big old fucker, like a little pineapple. And it looks really good. You know, from the bottom, it actually looks better with all them little holes drilled out of it. So it looks real good. The drive shaft in the back that connects the transmission to the rear differential, it's got a little bit of slack in it. You can hear it when I wiggle it back and forth. So I need to put a piece of fuel tubing in there to keep that from wiggling back and forth, because that'll wear out that little drive cup. And the front one, it doesn't have any. You hear that? There's no, very little. So there's very little play. So that front one is real tight. And this little like brace right here is actually like some kind of plastic. It's not metal. This thing is actually metal or aluminum, just painted black. The little radio tray is actually aluminum. These shocks, boy, I tell you what. These shocks are about as stiff as like a 70-year-old man, boy. I tell you what, look at that. He can barely move these things. I don't know if they were just filled up too much with oil or what, but these things are stiff as shit. And they don't even want to move. I guess it's just from sitting around so long. I don't know. I'm going to drain the fluid and, you know, look at that. Because these shocks should just be like butter smooth. You know what else I noticed is like there's no stabilizer bar front or rear. Look at that. See that little hole right there? That's where the stabilizer bar link is supposed to go and screw into, and the stabilizer bar goes around the back. And it's supposed to go right there between them two screws, one here and one there. And it's supposed to a metal bar, and then it goes up in there. And that thing's not there. And it's not there on the front either. So I wonder if they just stopped including those stabilizer bars as standard shit. Because this thing is, you know, basically stock. I guess this is the race version. And I'll tell you what else, like these little like side skirts here. The plastic little side skirts that they attach to the metal chassis. These things are rigid as shit. And it's like a completely different composite material. It's like a fiberglass reinforced like composite. I mean, you could almost, yeah, look at that. You lift the chassis with that motherfucker. Like, this shit is rigid and strong. The old one from the GT1 is soft and plasticky. I mean, real flexible. And, you know, it just doesn't give you a lot of confidence. that it's going to be able to withstand all the abuse. And I think, you know, the part that gives out first on these little plastic things is, you know, where you put the screws in. Because, like, you over torque those things and you just strip them out. But on this harder, like, fiberglass reinforced stuff, you might over torque them, but it's still going to be able to, like, hold the threads and not strip out. It's a lot better material. You know what else I noticed is in the back, it's got like a couple little screw hole things right here on the arms. Right there, you see that? Right here and right there. There's a couple little holes right there. Right here and there. Right here and right here. What the hell is that for? That's weird, because that's not on the GT1. Yeah, so I'm used to the GT1. I guess this must be the GT2 with the longer chassis. It's about a 1-inch longer chassis. You see the bottom is painted black. I'm gonna have to loosen up these 4 little motor mount screws. Pull the engine out a little bit because it's all cockeyed in there for one. You can see there, if you look at the flywheel, like this side looks closer than that side. You gotta really look close, but anyway, the gear mesh is way too tight and I'm gonna have to adjust that. Yeah, look at that. I don't even want to move. Just barely rocks back and forth. There's no play. That's not backlash that you're hearing right there. That's the clutch trying to spin. It ain't going nowhere. So, that's my very first LRP 32, boys. I'll tell you what. This is my first Kyosho GT2 right here. This is my first time to ever own these wheels and tires. I never had wheels and tires like this. Look at the level of steering this thing has. Let me move this camera back a little bit because you can't really see very well. I mean, look at the amount of steering that thing has. Can you see that? That looks a lot more than the GT1. This thing looks like it could drift. I mean, look at that. That is insane. That's a lot more than the GT1. I've never noticed that before. You know what else is weird? The steering servo is canted like this direction instead of being like straight up and down or whatever. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of hard to tell on a video. Man, guys, can you see this thing? Look at the size. I mean, my girlfriend, she said, like, man, that's not a little RC car. I mean, I guess this thing is kind of big. I didn't think it was that big, but I guess it is. I put it against my arm. It is kind of big. I didn't think it was that big. It is pretty big. My girlfriend was like, that's not a little RC car. I don't know. I like it, guys. So that's the Ferrari, guys. Let me show you the body. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, that thing almost looks like some kind of lotus or something. The weight of this body feels like a postage stamp. It's like so light. The material is so thin. Like, I'm not even trying to bend that, and it's just like You can see how easily that bends. Look at that. That is just freaking sick. And then look at this. This thing's actually got actual light buckets, so I could put in real like LED lights and shit. And then it has like these yellow lenses on the front. Look at that. I'll be putting in like real LEDs and shit in there too, boy. I tell you what. This motherfucker's gonna be badass. Look at that. And I'll tell you, before I do anything with this, I'm gonna like reinforce the inside with that black duct tape like I did to my other Kyosho GT2 car. Let me show you the other one, guys, real quick, before we get too far into this one. I'm sure you're dying to see the other one. Let me put this away. Here's my second one. Guys, can you smell what the Nitro Gang is cooking? Gentlemen, seriously, look at that thing. Holy sh! Look at that. What is that? What is that? One of them like Punisher kind of like comic things? Look at that. It's got little white dots on there, or silver dots. You know, I looked at this real close. And it's clear somebody came along and put that on with a marker and did that by hand. I mean, this motherfucker looks badass. And this thing right here, where it looks like some kind of digital LED readout, and you can change the numbers, I was like hoping like, oh yeah, I get some kind of digital thing. No, that's just paint or a sticker or something. And I'll be able to change the number? No. But anyway, this freaking body's badass. Look at this front little splitter. It's got this little cut, like this little break right here. And then this little piece here that's supposed to be like carbon fiber on the bottom, the air dam. And that thing looks freaking sick. Look at that. Can't really see. And the front almost looks like a Cadillac with all this grill shit they got going on there. And it's got this little like vent thing here, a hood extractor for the heat, and then some more extractors, some heat extractors. Got that little fuel thing where you refill there. And it's got a clear back. And it's got these little hinge things on the top there. Again, they went and did the little silver thing on there. See the back. It's not too bad. The only problem with this thing is just like all the rest of the cars. Like, look at this. Look how soft that is. How thin that is. If you wanted to run that, you would definitely have to reinforce that with like some duct tape or something like I do on all the rest of my body. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I don't know that I'm actually going to run this, but I'll definitely reinforce it regardless and touch it up. It needs a couple little touch-ups. Let me take off the body and show you guys. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. All right, let's get a good look at it. So this is the Kyosho GXR 28. This is a .28 engine that came with the first version of the GT2. And if you look closely right in here, yeah, you see those gears? You see how close those gears are together? This is the first version of that transmission, the 2-speed baby. Right there. See, these gears are real close together. This is the first version of it. The other car has the second version. So this is an earlier version. Look at that. This little steering link thing here. This was actually from the GT1. And because they increased the length of the chassis, they forgot to increase the length of the steering rod. So guess what? It didn't actually like connect. So no matter what you do, this thing is actually never long enough to connect with the steering right there. Talk about design flaw, boy, I tell you what. Again, these fucking tires are badass. These are like solid rubber. There's like no foam in there, no give. It's just completely solid. There's a sticker on the inside over here. It says GRPS4 over here on this wheel, on the inside of the wheel, right there. It says GRPS4. I don't know what that means, but I guess the GRP is just the brand. Yeah, here we go. So on the side of the engine right here, it says GXR 28. Let me show you. Well, on this side, it just has a K for the Kyosho. It's missing the little ties right there. And this one's a little bit different too. See, this is like the first version where you actually didn't get a back brake. So typically you're supposed to have a brake in the back and a brake in the front. But the first generation of these, what they decided to do is just put 2 brakes on the front. So you got 2 discs on the front and nothing on the back. Even though they gave you the brake cam, and you could theoretically just put your own brake back there. But typically the problem was that the flywheel was so big that it would hit and interfere with the actual brake cam, the brake disc mechanism and stuff. But I actually got it to work on my first GT1, so I know it'll work. And I'll probably upgrade this one too if I get this one, if I make this one a runner. I don't know, I haven't decided which one I want to make a runner yet. And which one I'll leave a shelf queen. Like a little fly in here. And this one's got the first version of the fuel tank. Clearly never a drop of fuel been put in there. And this is real nice how they diverted the little nipple going down and then it comes back up so it doesn't have any kinks in the line. And this pineapple is pretty nice and big. I actually had this one before, but I never got to run it. It's the one I gave my brother and he actually destroyed it before I could ever get to run it. As well as all the other nitro cars I had and all their other electrics and everything else I gave him. In the FG. Anyway, so the shocks on this are clearly from the first generation, the GT1. And they feel like ultra stiff. Yeah, I hear that? There's air in there, and that shit's got to come out. So the shocks will need to be bled and refilled up. The back feels good. There's no air in that one. That feels good. There's no air in that one. This has got your typical 2-chamber factory Kyosho pipe. This is a 2-chamber pipe. The other one has that hyper pipe. I don't know if that's a 2-chamber or what. But I know this one runs really, really well with these on-road cars. And I've already got another one that I've raced or driven and used for years, and it works really, really well. I really like that pipe. I've got a team associated, like factory team 3-chamber pipe on my other car that I'm building now, but that pipe, since it has 3 chambers, 1, 2, and 3, it really mellows out the power band of the engine. And so you could run that one like on, say, real slippery conditions where there's lots of rain or something, or so you didn't want to burn up your transmission and your tires. You would run that 3-chamber, or where it has like lots of tight twisties, and you know, you want a real mellow power band, so you're not, so your engine stays like, so your car will stay, instead of getting overpowered and getting sideways or whatever, you want to control your power band, and you could do that with a tune pipe, that 3-chamber from the Associated. I'll show you that one here in a second. So this is the other car I've got, guys. Let me put this one away and I'll show you the other one I just finished building last night. So this other car I just built last night was just a bunch of hodgepodge parts that I found on eBay, and I just built my own car from it. First I found the chassis, and then I started buying the parts that the chassis was missing. Pull it asunder. The third one I got under my bed, guys. All right. Look at this shit. This, I know you can't tell just yet, is a Porsche 911 with a Nova Rossi. Let me show you that. Let me get that out real quick. There's the wing for it. I'm gonna paint this one like a Rothman from the 1984 959 Tamiya Rothmans. This is actually the 911 Carrera from 1996, but I'm going to paint it in the same body color scheme. And this is actually a 2mm from Delta Plastic. This is extremely rare, hard to find body. I found it on eBay for absolute steal. You can see how badass this body is, dude. My girlfriend, when she saw this, she's like, man, that thing is big. So let's pull out the car. So I just finished building this last night. And when I first started with it, it was nothing more than just a chassis, and it was missing a bunch of pieces. And you can see I added the suspension, I rebuilt the shocks, took them all apart. The first thing I did was went outside and took a scrubby brush and scrubbed everything down with some dish soap and some water, and washed everything off. The engine wasn't on it, none of the electronics, nothing. And it was just the chassis and the suspension, so it was fine just to scrub it all off with soap and water. And then I let it dry in the sun in front of a fan, and it dried in no time. And so then I just started putting the parts on. And I had just bought this Nova Rossi engine. This is a P5 XLT with the special Gimar edition, which means it's got some extra little flashy shit, but it's nothing special. This is that 3-chamber team associated pipe that I was telling you about. You can see how narrow and long this pipe is, as opposed to that other like hyper pipe, which was real fat, like a baseball bat. Those are typically single chamber pipes. And then I put that high torque servo in there from High Tech. That's 333 ounces. And then this is a what do they call it? Savox servo. And that's a high torque servo and high speed as well. So that one will operate the throttle and shit. And then this one has actually got a special transmission. I'm still in the process of building it, but I got the clutch bell already. And this one has got the ultra high speed 21 tooth second gear. So the first tooth is a 15, and the second one, see this one right here is a 15 tooth, and then this one up here is a 21 tooth. And that 21 tooth gives you that extra speed, along with this other gear that's not here right now. So I'm still building the 2-speed, but this other gear, instead of the 43, they give you a 40. So with those two gears, that 40 and that 21, that's like a 2-to-1 ratio, and that'll get you up like past 50 miles an hour. And anyway, this is the new one I'm building, and this is the second transmission like this that I got. The other car has also got the same transmission, and I think it's got Futaba high torque servos in there. These are the original like tires that came with the vehicle, but they're just the aftermarket, but they still got the same tire tread pattern that came with the original one, the GT1. This one's actually got the blue chassis. This one is actually shorter than the black chassis or the gunmetal one by a whole inch, by 25 millimeters. So because it's got that shorter chassis, the bodies that it accepts are different. So here you can see when I put the body on, see the body fits just right. That's the Porsche 911 Carrera, the GT1 from 1996. That thing is freaking sick. Yeah, once I get this motherfucker running, dude. So these are my runners. Like, my GT1s are actually my runners. I'm not sure that I'm actually going to run the GT2s. But, man, this 2mm is like a night and day difference between the other two bodies I just got. This is so thick and hard. Like, this is like a 5th scale body. And the other ones are so skinny. But anyway, guys, I better end this video before it gets too long. I just want to show you guys what I ended up scoring and what I'm gonna start building on. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Later.